One of my real wishes were for as many people as possible to hear the choirs. People have been hearing National Youth Choirs in their millions, which is wonderful.
National Youth Choir Recordings is our in-house recordings label, and it's 10 years old. It really represents the amazing work by thousands and thousands of young people over the last decade creating fabulous music together.
Last time we met? I think before the pandemic, actually.
Possibly.
Yeah?
You usually sit in this chair.
Shut up. I think when we started this digital label, it was kind of a way of the choirs being heard rather than selling CDs at concerts, because they're not the sort of choirs that do that.
I rejoined NYC from a big record label, and I'd learnt a number of lessons there, I suppose, at that time. It was a big commercial operation. One of them was that the track was king. And the other thing was that everything, of course, was squarely digital, and particular for young audiences. They were now consuming music via streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, but also slightly bewildering to me through things like YouTube. So there was clearly an opportunity to do things in a different way that would meet the audience where they were, and would also just make it a lot easier for NYC to record. One thing that changed hugely since I joined the choirs was the number of choirs in the family. I mean, you presided over a huge growth in the organisation.
I think it was kind of a lovely opportunity, wasn't it, for those other choirs to participate. And in fact, I think one of the first recordings that we did, and was really the kind of driver for us coming up with this idea of a monthly release, was a piece by Benjamin Britten called Voices for Today, which was written for a large, or a standard choir and then a large upper voice choir. Yeah. So we actually put together the chamber choir and the girls choir, and that was one of our first recordings that we released, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was the recording. Actually, that tipped us towards this releasing singles.
I think it's really important that our members have the opportunity of being part of a professional recording setup. This is such an important thing for them to learn, and really adds to the skills that they develop as members of the National Youth Choir.
Knowing how to sing in a live performance venue is very different from knowing how to sing in a recording space, and NYC singers can do both.
Being in National Youth Choir, doing the recordings was really my first exposure to recording being an option as a musician. So definitely influenced what I wanted to do, especially like Cough Cough we recorded. That was incredible just to see the whole process of how it works and all the different roles that are available that you wouldn't really know because it's not something you do at school really.
We have the most wonderful sound engineer and producer who are really thorough. They have amazing ears, and so they pick us up on every single little sniff or cough or voice crack. And so there's a little bit of pressure in the rehearsals and recording to make sure that we get things nailed, but also it really ups our game, and it means that we've got a great standard of singing throughout the course, knowing that we've got to prepare for something where we can't make any mistakes.
What I love about the NYC recordings is that there's a fearlessness to them. These are new to these singers, right? They have no baggage with them. It's just this piece that they're singing, this session. And so they live and they're alive and they breathe and they push and they pull in ways that they did when they were original. You know, they're not sick with experience. They're just innocent and alive.
I think what's unique about having National Youth Choir recording a piece of mine is the energy and the joy. There's just a newness. There's a feeling of undiscovered territory. It's really exciting recording with the National Youth Choir.
It makes us like sort of more
not valid, but kind of like you should take notice of us. Like we're putting out incredible recordings. We're not just like, oh, the kids doing some sing-songs. We're doing professional level recordings with professional level equipment and actual professionals behind the scenes. And it's like, yeah, we deserve a space here. We deserve these incredible recordings, and you should listen to us because we sound great.
Recording is such a significant part of any musician's career because it's where you are your most disciplined and also where you have to be basically on your A game. Everyone's got to sort of pull together to really achieve something collectively, and therefore everyone's got to sort of raise their game to a certain level. And I think it's a very nice challenge to have, to achieve something just beyond what you think your own capabilities are, and then have it documented, and it's there forever. I imagine these young people in 40 years' time going, I did that in a school in Blackpool, and I remember it. And when I talk to people who are my generation, who are in the National Youth Choir, it's the recordings and the legacy from those recordings which stay very close to their hearts.
Commissioning is a really important part of the work we do at National Youth Choir.
We work with not just eminent composers, but also new voices in the field. And it's really, really important to us that we also involve our members in the commissioning process. Sometimes they can write the words, and we're excited that soon they'll be involved in the music as well. This is an amazing opportunity for them and really helps them own what they do. It's a unique thing and it's very special.
As a composer, you write the music and then you hand it to the performers and you trust your performers. But what an opportunity when those performers happen to be some of the greatest singers in the country, led by the most brilliant conducting teams. So I was just absolutely delighted with the recordings. They have such a vibrancy, so much energy, and it was done with so much care. And it's an honor to be part of your cohort of composers.
I'm really fortunate to have two arrangements on NYC recordings, Jamie Cullum's How Do You Fly and then SOS by ABBA. Ultimately, it's been incredible to be able to get that opportunity.
It just made me happy to realize that I'm actually going to be featured in something. I never thought I'd be in an album before. So something like this will always have a special place in my heart.
Of course, doing recordings with young people is challenging, but it's immensely rewarding to see how much they improve during the recording, and that journey from the youngest ones, that real excitement but also exhaustion and needing to keep them going through the day, and then that real professionalism of our oldest members in the fellows. It really showed me the journey that you go through as part of National Youth Choir.
Thinking back to highlights, I suppose that there's one that sticks in my mind. All recordings, I love the process of recording, as you well know. But I do remember in 2017, we recorded Hubert Parry's amazing Songs of Farewell, and also a wonderful arrangement by Chris Gabitas, who was in the King Singers, of Imogen Heap's Hide and Seek, which also has had hundreds of thousands of streams. Yeah. It was a wonderful day and so productive and so joyous for all of us there. I really enjoyed not only the day itself, but also the recordings. And a big shout out here to our producer for that day, who was the inestimable John Rutter, who has been president of National Youth Choirs and has given of his time so freely, and in fact has produced, quite a sizable number of the recordings that we've done. Yeah. I don't know whether you have a favourite, do you?
I think that Sam Gilliatt's arrangement of Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy is absolutely brilliant, and it's delivered to perfection. It's just totally charming, well recorded as well, exactly in the... I think that was... didn't you produce that one?
Yeah, that's interesting you should say that, because that was a studio recording.
Yeah.
And in fact, that was multi-tracked. I wanted to show them how we do a multi-track recording. So, of course, all the 8 singers were there, but they each did their own separate lines, and then we mixed it together. So, in fact, that was a lovely learning curve for them, because they saw how that environment is completely different from an ambient recording. I'm glad you picked that one out. That's really fun.
My favourite piece on the album is From the Green Heart of the Waters by Samuel Coleridge Taylor. This was really special because I think it was a premiere recording, but of a piece written really quite a long time ago now, and to have rediscovered something that hasn't been recorded before felt really special. It surprised me how much the 9 to 15-year-old choir loved this piece. It felt quite nostalgic and of its time, and for some reason that was the one you hear them singing in the back of the coach on the way to things afterwards. It just grabbed them. I think it's the way it feels when you have three voices singing in close harmony together. It felt really nice for them.
So we've had 10 amazing years of National Youth Choir recordings, and we're really excited about what's coming next, building on those wonderful experiences of all these young people, continuing to offer a broad range of musical styles and cultural influences in the music that we perform and record.
Yeah, we've got some brilliant new commissions in the pipeline, of course, but what remains really important to us is the experience of our young members and what they gain from the recording process. It's important for them to continue to be able to point to something that they've created and say, that was mine. And that's just a huge part of what we hope our members go away from their experience with us with.
I know that my grandparents who can't come to the concert are desperate to hear something that we do on these courses. So these recordings that we've done are like the best thing in the world.
One other thing that the label has developed, which wasn't intentional, but I suppose is natural, is that increasingly it's become an in-house production.
Not only is it in-house, but these are guys who've come up through the choirs. It's lovely to see them doing that, actually, isn't it? And just thinking of what's the legacy? What are the legacies of this record label in its 10th year? And that's one of them. It's really lovely to see.
Members are absolutely at the heart of everything we do at National Youth Choir, and we're excited to keep sharing their voices with the world.